Hi everybody, I'm Delicia and thanks so much for tuning in to my weekly top 5 cigars. These are the cigars coming out of my humidor and hopefully making their way into yours for your week of smoking. So I thought it'd be fun to do a few of these videos where I kind of recap the last 5 years since I've been doing a top 5 for every year that I can recall, the last 5 years. And starting with my number 1 cigars over the last 5 years. For the year end, if that makes sense. So that being said, I hope you've had the opportunity over the last several years to follow along and try out some of these cigars. And if you have, then thank you. And hopefully this is an opportunity to revisit some of those cigars that maybe you haven't smoked in a while. And if you haven't heard of them, then maybe it's a time to try them out for the first time. Either way, thanks for tuning in, and I hope we enjoy this little quick segment that I'll be doing, and I'll try to do my best to add the top number 2s, top number 3s and 4s and 5s as the weeks progress. But starting off with the top number 1 cigars of the past 5 years, we have the number 5, which is the JOYA Black. This one is a classic. It's been around now for several years. It definitely stood out to me the first time that I smoked it. And again, in that year, it was my top number 1 cigar. And that's featuring a Mexican San Andres wrapper, Nicaraguan binder and filler. You get beautiful, rich notes of oak and a nice raisin, a dark chocolate. You pick up caramel and earth. It's a beautiful, beautiful cigar. Hopefully by now you guys have tried it. It's been around, as I mentioned, for several years, and it's just a definite staple to have in your humidor. Makes a wonderful pairing for a variety of things, including coffee and even bourbon and rum. I found pair very nicely with the JOYA Black, or all the way by itself. That would work too. Moving on to number 4, which was my number 1 cigar of 2017, and that is the Mi Querida. The good old blue band Mi Querida, a fabulous cigar. I have had several of Steve Saka's cigars in my lineup over the years, just amazingly blended and smokes exceptionally well every time. The Mi Querida is just a true, again, another staple for some of the cigars that you should have already on hand in your humidor, and if not, for sure, definitely a time to stock up on that particular one, as it's excellent. The Mi Querida is featuring a Connecticut broadleaf wrapper, Nicaraguan binder, and filler. You get beautiful milk chocolate, earthy coffee bean, a little blend of cinnamon and black pepper. You do pick up a little bit of creaminess in there as well. It's just an overall fantastic cigar. Definitely a favorite of mine. Just exceptionally done. So hats off. And then, of course, as the years have gone on, he has progressed to make a second kind of a follow-up version of that, which is the Triqui-Traca, and I know you guys are big fans of that one. So just in case you haven't visited the original Mi Querida in a while, great opportunity to do so. Moving on to number 3. Something a little bit different than my normal go-to Maduro. This is the Highclere Castle. The Highclere Castle is an elegant cigar, beautiful for either first-time smokers, newer smokers, people that are not looking for something incredibly heavy. Any time of the day, morning, noon, evening, all of those times fit this particular cigar. Pairs exceptionally well, I found, in the morning with coffee. You can also do a really nice pairing with the actual Highclere Castle gin. It's just a beautiful offering, again, blended by Nick Melillo. It was a nice, fun project that they did. Of course, as the time went on, they progressed with the second version of the Highclere Castle cigar, and that was the Victorian in the beautiful red box. This first one here, the Edwardian in a blue box, can't miss it. It's a beautiful, beautiful cigar. Again, if you've never smoked it, definitely invited to try it. Again, all of these cigars that I mentioned should be cigars that you keep well stocked in your humidor. They're just fabulous, exceptionally made cigars. And so this Highclere Castle, the first one that was done, again, with Nick Melillo and the Highclere Castle team. This one's featuring a Connecticut shade wrapper, Brazilian Matafina on the binder, Nicaraguan filler, beautiful notes of vanilla wafer. You get a nice light cedar. You just get these underlying sweetness and little creamy notes that creep in. A little bit of caramel. You have a kind of a toasted cashew nut that creeps in every so often, but it's just a beautifully done cigar. Again, definitely an easy smoke for any level of cigar smoker. So it's one that you could share with friends, keep all to yourself, whatever your particular wants may be, but it's a fantastic cigar. Moving on to my next number one cigar. This one was for 2 years ago, and once again goes out to JOYA. As you can tell, there's a little bit of a trend here. So the JOYA Cinco Decadas, incredible cigar. They have made different vitolas in that particular blend, but it's just a remarkable cigar. Definitely one that I would hope by now you guys have all smoked it. If you haven't, definitely get out there, get yourself a couple boxes, keep them on hand in your humidor. Fabulous cigars. They're wonderful now. They age well. They're just all the way around just an incredibly made, wonderful tasting, just a fabulous cigar. So that one is actually featuring an exclusive collection of tobacco leaves that are extra vintage. They don't give a lot of detail as to the particular blend, but you do get beautiful notes of nutmeg. You get a peppery background. It's kind of woodsy. You pick up cream. You get little hints of sweet and spicy all throughout the stick. It's just a beautiful cigar. I like that one with a nice nuttier rum. It's also great with coffee. You know me, I always go for the coffee with the pairings. The JOYA just makes exceptional cigars. They're the oldest factory in Nicaragua, and they just really deliver every time. So as you can tell, they've made my top number one list over the past 5 years twice. So hats off to JOYA. And for my number one cigar, of course, in case you happen to miss it this year, it is the Drew Estate Year of the Rat. This is a beautiful cigar. I can't get enough of this one. I've been smoking through my box and trying to get a second one so I can make sure that I don't completely run out of them. It's a fabulous stick, so much flavor that it delivers. It'll keep you interested your entire smoke. You can have this with coffee, you can have this with bourbon, you can have this with rum, you can do it with tequila, you can have it with wine. You can pair this with a number of things and you're gonna still pull out all these different flavor nuances. It definitely, again, gets your attention. It's a beautiful smoke, lots of different layers to it. It's very balanced at the same time, but still delivers some very rich, beautiful notes on this, again, Drew Estate, the Serie Unico, and it's the Year of the Rat. So beautiful offering. And it does feature a nice Connecticut broadleaf wrapper, Brazilian binder, Nicaraguan and Honduras on the filler. And again, you're just getting different notes. You pick up some black pepper, some earthy, little hints of citrus. You get creamy, you get coffee bean, you get little notes of chocolate, cocoa in there. Just absolutely phenomenal. Definitely a cigar that is worthy of the number one spot. So again, if you haven't smoked this one, definitely get out there. All of these cigars, as I've mentioned now a couple times, should be in your humidor. If they're not, go out and stock up. I will try my best to put links for all of them in case you can't find them in your local brick and mortar, but definitely cigars that are worthy of your time and attention. So thanks so much for tuning in and have a fabulous Sunday. And I do wish you all good health and happiness all throughout the year and a wonderful week ahead. Cheers.